Before we get into this episode, I want to mention a couple partners of the channel, the first one being Arkin Optics. Whether you're needing some new glass for your long-range bolt action precision rifle, your AR-10, AR-15, or if you need an LPVO for your dual optic, Arkin Optics has you covered. These optics punch far above their weight in regards to their price point, which is especially true when using code texasplinking at checkout. Not to mention they're 50 BMG rated and have lifetime warranties. I'll be sure to leave a link in the description so you guys can check out Arkin Optics, and once again, be sure to use code texasplinking at checkout to get the best deal currently available. And for all your thermal and digital night vision needs, I recommend you check out D&T Optics. They too punch way up when you consider their offerings and their price points. Their Hydra is a compact thermal scope that can double as a clip-on, turning your day LPVO into a thermal. The Zulus is a digital night vision scope with the day mode and has a built-in ballistic calculator and laser rangefinder. And the Thermite combines it all with digital night vision, day mode, and thermal. I'll also put a link in the description so you guys can check out all the D&T offerings. And once again, code texasplinking gets you the best deal currently available on all things D&T. Speaking of thermal, I'll also leave a link so you guys can check out the Infotech Fast Mini thermal sight. It takes the size and shape of a red dot, but it's a tiny thermal so small that you could mount it to a pistol or cant it on the side of your rifle. Surprisingly, they're under $1,000 and offer a very cool and unique shooting experience. And if you're looking to put together your next long-range precision bolt action rifle for a very reasonable price, I recommend you check out Outlier USA. They make both modular chassis and precision barrels. All you need is your own action and trigger. So whether you're modifying a current rifle of yours or building something from the ground up, be sure to check out Outlier USA and use code texasplinking at checkout to save as much money as possible. And if chassis aren't for you, I recommend you check out Graybow to get yourself a quality American-made rifle stock. They have a wide range of different offerings and patterns to choose from, and once again, code texasplinking saves you guys as much money as possible at checkout. And lastly, I want to give a big thanks to Silencer Shop. Not only does Silencer Shop offer a vast array of suppressors to choose from, but they also make the process of obtaining them incredibly simple and fast. Silencer Shop is your one-and-done solution for all your suppressor needs, ensuring a headache-free purchase. With their streamlined process and comprehensive customer support, Silencer Shop truly makes suppressor ownership simplified. And now suppressor approvals are coming back faster than ever, sometimes in just a few days. Visit their website and find a Silencer Shop kiosk near you to get your fingerprints done and the process started. If you're not using Silencer Shop, you're working way too hard to get your suppressors. Hey guys, I'm Brandon and this is the Texas Plinking 1 MOA at 1,000 yards long range challenge. In this series, I invite 5 subscribers to come out with their rifles and showcase their abilities. The way it works is each shooter's gonna have up to 10 shots to hit this 10-inch target. Once the shooter hits the 10-inch target, they can spend the remaining rounds on this 5-inch target. And once they hit the 5-inch target, the challenge is complete, and every shot they didn't use of the 10 total is an additional point. The 10-inch target is worth 10 points on the first shot and goes down 1 point for every shot following. The 5-inch target is worth up to 20 points on the first attempt and goes down 2 points for every following shot. That all being said, 38 points is the maximum. The way you do that, get a cold bore shot on the 10-inch for 10 points, then you move on for a sequential hit on the 5-inch for 20 points, then you have 8 unfired rounds, that's 38 points. Additionally, shooters will get a bronze coin if they get a hit between shot 6 and 10, a silver coin for hits between 2 and 5, and a gold coin for a cold bore shot. And just to be safe, if we can't see the first 3 shots fired on the berm at all, we have to call the challenge off. There's no spotting this challenge, so the shooter is on their own. This is a monthly challenge with new episodes going live on the first Sunday of every month. Whoever gets the most points per episode competes in an additional challenge where they try to see how tight of a 10-round group they can shoot at 1,000 yards. If they can get all 10 rounds under 10 inches, they get another challenge coin, and the first 3 people to complete that challenge gets $1,000. Those challenges go live on the second Sunday of every month, so look out for that video 1 week from now. Now with all that out of the way, I hope you enjoyed this challenge. All right, up first, who do we have?
Nick Karatzis.
Nick, thanks so much for coming out, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Oh,
this is a sweet spot.
I appreciate it, man. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty good day so far. So starting with a rifle like this, what do you have here?
So this started off as a M24 clone. It was actually a custom clone with the custom action. This is a Texas-made Stiller TAC 30. And I was dragging this thing around for a while. I drug it out to California and it was sitting under our bed for a while. And then I was like, you know, I need to get back into shooting. I need to trick this thing out. And so I converted it into a match rig. It's a proof drop-in 6-dasher. 1 7.5 twist, 26 inch.
So 6-dasher, that's gonna be a fun one to see. So tell me about that load. Like what's the grain weight on it? And
yeah, so I'm using a 109 Burger LRHT, like the sickest bullet. And I'm running it at like 2750, a little bit over. So it's actually pretty cold. For some reason, I got a 26 inch barrel and it's a cold load. So I expected it to be hotter, but I'm hitting pressure.
Yep.
It's where I'm.
So hand loads then?
Hand loads then, yeah.
Awesome. And then I've said this before, that's a light bullet for the challenge, not in the realm of 6-dasher, but that's for something you get up to 1,000, that's on the lighter end for sure.
Yeah.
So very, very cool. And what are you doing for the chassis here?
So this is a MDT Elite.
So way heavy chassis, you're shooting a 6-dasher. So I mean, this thing's probably got to sit down pretty well, so you can use a lot of your magnification, I'd imagine.
It's true, yeah. It's 22 pounds, it's super stable.
Wow.
Even without the brake, so.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll be running 15X.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and what optic do you have here?
This is an old Night Force NXS. Okay. 3.5 to 15. So perfect. I literally keep it at 15 for everything.
Yeah,
100 yards range. Out to any distance.
Easy. What are you feeling for confidence level?
Man, you know, this is a really hard challenge.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm not banking on anything. I just did my best to make the best ammo. Just gonna rock it, man.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
I have a slow round.
Are you able to see your shot?
Yeah, I saw him.
Okay.
We see him. It's all good.
I have 2 light primer strikes, just FYI.
Yeah, you're good.
Yay!
There it is.
That was good.
That's on the 8.
That was so good.
That was so much harder than I expected.
Oh my gosh.
All
right. Got 2 rounds to do it. Do you want to go for that white one underneath it, or any other one calling your name?
Let me check.
How many shots do you have?
I have 2. Yeah, I'm gonna go for that white one under.
White one under. All right, ready when you are.
Come on, Nick.
All right.
2 shots to do it.
They were both on the same spot.
All right, and up next, who do we have?
Daniel Chambers.
Daniel, thanks so much for making it out. What rifle sub do you have here?
I'm a factory guy.
Yeah.
It's just a Ruger RPR.
Very nice.
In 6.5 Creedmoor.
Very cool. Awesome. And have certainly seen a lot of RPRs in the challenge. I've owned one myself, and seems to be a great out-of-box rifle ready to rock for a challenge like this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we definitely know the RPR well on the channel, so I'll spare some stuff there. But what are you doing for ammo?
Ammo, I'm using the Hornady 147 ELD.
Yep, perfect.
We're going to try those. I'm too lazy to hand load.
I hear you. Well, cool. Some white and red box, just good plug-and-play stuff. What are you doing for suppression?
That's an old Seika 7.62.
Okay.
And got a cold tack wrap on it.
Cool.
And works pretty well.
Very nice.
Works pretty well.
Nice. And I see a Magpul bipod on there as well.
Yes, sir.
And then what are you doing for optic?
Optic, I fell in love with the Vortex Strike Eagle.
What's the zoom range on this?
Zoom is 25.
Okay. Yep. Very nice.
5 to 25. 6
Perfect.
to 25, I believe.
What's this piece of glass on the top here?
This is MK machining. It gives people with bad eyesight. It
Oh, okay.
magnifies the deal here.
I never even seen that. Very cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so just amplifies just like to see where you're exactly dialed at.
It works
Very
very
cool.
well.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
Even with trifocus, it helps.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's awesome to know.
Yeah.
Cool. You got it weighted down pretty good to keep it still. I see. MBT grip on there. Got it rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
Got to ask, what's the confidence level looking like?
With this gun, probably gonna be the 10-inch. I probably can do it in 5.
Okay.
If I can see my hits.
Yep.
If I had the other gun, I would guarantee 3. But
Okay.
with this one here, I'm thinking 5 on the 10-inch.
Other gun, as in you were in between bringing this out, and you have another RPR and 300 PRC, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And that one's acting up on you, you
Yeah,
said?
the nut came loose on the handguard.
Oh, okay.
And so didn't have a chance to get it fixed before bringing it out.
Okay.
So I went to my backup.
Went to the backup 6.5?
Yeah, so I'm thinking within 5 if
Okay.
I can see my hits.
Perfect. Well, we'll get it on then. Looking forward to it.
Okay,
Great.
thank you
sir.
very much.
There it
Yay!
is. Well done.
Very
Shot on,
good, Daniel.
shot on the 6.
6.
You're at 5 points. And so you got 4 shots for a half MOA. Do you want to go for that white one right under it?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Ready when you are.
Good luck.
Well done.
That's
Very nice.
a good one, Daniel.
That was on the 10th overall, additional 4 points.
Awesome.
All right, and up next, who do we have?
Steven Swenson.
Steven, thanks so much for making it out. Awesome. What rifle setup you got here?
I've got a Palmetto Armory 308, just out of the box.
Very nice.
I've done a few things with it.
Sure.
I've got a brake on it, Eric Cortina tuner and brake.
Oh, cool. Right on.
I've got Geisley trigger.
Nice, nice.
So I've replaced my buttstock.
Okay.
So, and a Vortex scope. It's a Venom scope, 25 or 5x25, 56. That's a borrowed bipod from my buddy that's with me here because my bipod wasn't enough.
That's a nice bipod to borrow.
Yeah, it was. It changed the game.
Yeah, very stout.
yeah.
What is it? An Atlas of some kind, but like just the stoutness of. Nah, we're all good. I'll believe it.
Yeah, cheers.
Well, very cool. But still, at the end of the day, you got all these accessories thrown on there, very nice. But it is a Palmetto State PA-10, and I've known these things to be pretty accurate out of the box as well. And running at 308 AR-10.
I've been pretty impressed so far.
Nice. What's the barrel length on it?
So it's 20-inch barrel.
Okay.
Which that's a little light, but I've developed a load. I'm
Nice.
at the 169 Sierra.
Okay, perfect.
So the
Boattail Hull Point or?
Boattail Hollow
Okay,
Point
yeah.
CN.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
And I've shot the 168s and the 169s at 1,000, and amazing the difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I developed the 169, and should be in good shape.
Awesome. So what's the confidence level looking like?
I'll hit berm.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll hit
Perfect.
berm. I'll hit berm. Beyond that, just the grin will get bigger if I
Yep.
do well. So,
Sounds good. Awesome. Well, looking forward to it. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
It'd be a nice group there.
Gosh.
All right, and up next, who do we have?
Rick from Denver.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming out. What rifle setup do you got here?
Well, this is a custom build. It's an American Rifle Company coup de grace action in 300 PRC, 30-inch Bartlein barrel,
Very
heavy
nice.
profile, ATS barrel tuner, Thunder Beast Magnus RR suppressor.
Awesome. Like a brake integrated to that as well?
Got a brake on it. That's the RR for recoil reduction.
Very cool.
Which works pretty much as advertised.
Yeah?
It really does.
Get
cut
suppression
down.
and some
yeah, it's pretty
mitigation.
quiet, and it does cut back on the recoil, because without a brake or without that on there, it's got a pretty healthy kick.
Yeah, no, I would
So-
imagine. So yeah, that being said, it's 300 PRC, pretty stout round, but seems to be weighed down pretty well with this MDT ACC chassis as well. Pretty thick 30-inch barrel, you said. So sit down pretty good, ultimately?
Yeah, this has an internal 2.5 pound weight.
Oh, very nice.
On
Okay.
it, so it's 26 pounds overall.
Yeah.
As you can see, a zero compromise 527 scope,
Nice.
Vortex rangefinder. You can't hardly see it, but ascendant level.
Nice.
Adjustable bag rider, so it takes a little bit of the variability out of the equation if you can just dial in your elevation.
Sure, yeah.
With that.
Accu-Tac bipod, I see.
Accu-Tac
Very
HD50 with the ski feet. I've got a little bit of hopefully advantage that I've just started trying out. Seems to work well, and that is I'm using a bipod mat. It's called Corian. It's like the bristles that you use to wipe off your feet.
Okay.
And so these ski feet will ride in those bristles, and it's
Oh,
really
just
easy to
keeping the
move back and
tracks.
forth,
Yeah.
but it doesn't want to move side
Okay.
to side.
That'll be
So
interesting to see.
gives you a little bit more recoil control
straight back.
instead of jumping, side to side.
Makes
So
sense.
Helps out there.
So that being said, being that you did so much recoil mitigation control measures, what magnification do you expect to be at?
Probably somewhere between 15 and 20, depending on mirage.
Sure,
You know,
yeah.
I'll dial it up probably as far as I can, where it makes sense, because I
Yep.
still have to see my misses. I don't
Definitely.
expect to go in there and just do a cold bore hit. So
You never know.
I'm gonna see.
300 PRCs
I mean,
are pretty
fingers
sweet
crossed.
round.
But you know, I that's part of the reason for the 300 PRCs, because you know I can see. I've shot at a mile and I can still see my splash
That's
at
sweet.
a mile.
I love the round.
And so it's easier to adjust when you can see where you're hitting. If you can't see where you're hitting,
You got nothing to go
you're
off
just
of.
poking around in the dark. So
Absolutely. Well, that being said, I mean, pretty stout, and you're shooting at 1,000, which again is not a hard range for this particular kind of setup, but it is a small target. So what's the confidence level looking like?
yeah, if the wind, and everybody says this, if the wind stays like it is now, 70%, you know,
Yeah.
feel fairly
Good
confident.
feel.
Not first hit, but
Sure.
somewhere in those 10 shots, I think I'll be able to ring
Perfect.
some steel. So
Did I already ask?
We'll
what are you
see.
doing for ammo?
300 PRC hand loads.
Okay.
Using 230 grain Hornady A-tips.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. Do you know the velocity you're getting out of that? Out of a 30?
2,900.
Pretty stout.
Yeah.
Awesome. Looking forward to
Yeah.
it. So thanks so much again.
Yeah, thanks,
Appreciate
Brandon.
it.
Whoa! Nice.
There you go.
Chicken.
Hey, stay down. You're going to have a few shots for the half MOA there. You're at 9 points.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. 9 point shot in the second. You're going to have 8 rounds to have a chance at the half MOA. Do you want to go for the left one or the right one?
We'll go to the right.
Perfect. Ready when you are. close there. All right, up next, who do we have?
Ryan Cheney.
Ryan, thanks so much for making it out.
Absolutely, man.
Awesome. This is a really, really stout setup. Can't wait to hear more about this, man. What do we got here?
This is my 375 Chi-Tac. It's built on a Pierce 10X. It's got a 38-inch Bartline 8-twist, Manners LRT, Terminator T5, Trigger Tech 2-stage diamond, Night Force Attacker 735 mil C.
Awesome. So I might get ahead of myself for asking, but a lot of zoom on that, big old round, but it looks like it's stable enough as well. What magnification do you expect to be at 1,000?
25.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
somewhere around in there, 20, 25.
Good amount of zoom for such a stout round as well. So
Yeah.
I imagine just very, very controllable.
Just something where, you know, it's optically clear, don't
Sure.
get a lot of mirage. Of course, it's pretty clear right now.
Yeah.
So, but, you know, enough field of view to see everything.
Nice. And then just, again, though, controlling that round in that sense. But how heavy is this again?
35, 36
Okay.
pounds, something like that.
For some perspective, just a little heavier than a naked Barrett M82, for instance. So not lightweight.
Yeah,
but
in ELR, we've got a 40-pound limit.
okay, gotcha.
Well, some venues have 50, but, you know, it comes
Gotcha.
well under that, even with a Charlie track on there.
And then something we were talking about off camera, and I wanted to bring it up as well. You said, as far as your pre-cant and MOA here,
Yeah.
what all do you have?
It's got a 50 MOA rail,
Base,
and then it's
yeah.
got a 30 MOA spur, so it got 80 minutes.
So that being said, just for people out there, I get really excited about pre-canting everything. Sometimes people try to get 40 MOA on like a Mark 12. I'm like, whoa, 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 you don't need all that. This got so much cant because the cartridge itself is capable enough to go super far. That being said, it's so much you're not zeroed
Yeah.
at 100, are you?
Yeah, I zero at 100, but it zeroes, you know, 20.5 inches high.
Sure. So it's
So-
zeroed for you to remember that
Right.
and offset that,
Yeah.
not zero to the turret.
Right. So the turret's completely bottomed out. I mean, I've got a full 37 mils in the scope.
Okay.
Because it's completely zeroed out, and I actually had to slow the round down a little bit.
That's right.
Because I was running them about, you know, running the 400 grain lasers at like 30-40. I slowed them down to 2960 because I was actually going to have to hold under at 1,000.
Gotcha.
So I slowed them down, so I should only have to come up about 0.2.
Come up about 0.2. So
Yeah.
for all intents and purposes, to keep it simple, you're practically, as far as the turret's concerned, zeroed at
Basically-
1,000 yards.
basically, yes, yeah,
And
1,000.
so something else I asked you I was super interested in knowing, sometimes I'll put a example picture here. Some of the guys that are shooting just miles and miles have such a crazy cant to where I've always wondered what range they're zeroed at. Is it just a small margin? But the way you have your setup with all this pre-cant, without a prism just yet, how far can you shoot using all the turret and the reticle? How far can you shoot from 1,000 to what range?
It should be good to at least 3,000, maybe
Nice.
3,200. If I go down to Raton, New Mexico, where they shoot King of 2 miles, I may be able to get to 2 miles because the DA is like 9,000 feet.
Okay.
So I may be able to get to full 2 miles without the prism.
And that's what this mounts for, is a prism that
Right.
will then do
Yeah.
what for you exactly?
I've got a 40 mil prism that if I run out of elevation, I slap it on, and now I'm at 40, and now I can dial all the way up to 77.
Which, for as much as I'm into long range, I'm so fascinated by that, but that is a foreign world that I'm not even too familiar about, but I've seen it and it's awesome.
Yeah.
So the prism, how does that mount up there? Is this
It's got 4 magnets.
I thought
it
I saw
slaps
that.
on, and then it has 2 screws. And
Okay.
you just 10-inch pounds those, and it's done.
Wow.
The screws are just to hold it in place. I have seen people try to shoot it with just magnets, and then it'll actually, in recoil, it can actually dislocate. So
interesting? So it's just so many moving pieces to it, but the fact that you could just add that
Yeah.
extra 40 mils or
it's
whatever
pretty cool.
is
I
wild.
do like that because you can actually see that the periscope portion is actually high.
Yeah.
So it sees over the muzzle device, because when you're cranked at like 37 mils here, you've got muzzle brake in the bottom of the reticle.
Yeah.
But with the prism, it's nice and clear.
In short, as of now without a prism, you're pretty much good from roughly 1,000 to 3,000
Yeah.
with the scope. Very
Yeah,
cool. So
yeah.
you could tell that is just a very, very purpose-driven gun here for
Purpose-driven,
that
for ELR,
purpose.
yeah.
Awesome. All right, and so what are you doing for ammo again? 375?
So
and then,
yeah, 375, or it's Peterson brass.
Okay.
And H50 BMG, 215Ms, 400
Gotcha.
grain cutting edge laser
Good stuff.
at 2960.
That's a lot of round going very, very fast.
Yeah,
Awesome.
it's a lot of energy.
We got you going last for a reason. Some of these targets just
Yeah.
might die. Very, very cool. So what's the confidence level looking like?
I'm super confident in the rifle, but this game's all about wind.
Sure,
So
absolutely.
it's going to be close. I know that the elevation on this thing is spot on. So
Perfect.
It'll be real close. But
Awesome.
that small target's small.
Yeah, it is.
I've practiced on a 5-inch target, and it's
And if you hit
they're
that
small,
clean,
man.
if you hit that clean, who knows what it's going to do to it. So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, it'll
So,
be fun.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much,
man.
Ryan.
Thanks for having me out.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
that little thing stayed on there. All right, that's a hit on the third. You're at 8 points. You're gonna have 7 rounds for half a MOA. Do you want to go for the left or right?
I like the look of the left one better.
All right, left one, ready when you are. Extra points for making it into a backflip.
Yeah.
It did a backflip. I was expecting to land upright. All right, Nick, got it done. Won't make you wait too long. There is that bronze coin for you, sir.
Thank you so much.
So hopefully that was all worthwhile. You definitely came from some ways. But yeah, how'd it go from your perspective?
You know, it was really humbling. It went really well. I think I underestimated the moisture impact on spotting misses.
Yeah, definitely.
All the strategy I had in my head was based on seeing that miss, snapping back, getting that follow up.
Yep.
And then whenever all my fellow shooters were talking about their cartridges and confidence and splash, I was like, I remember I'm shooting 6-dasher. Splash is hard, and it took me
Not
back
typically, but we did get just drenched over the last couple of days here, and I could tell without even talking to you. I could tell exactly what's going on because your first 2 or 3, I mean, you'll see the grouping as best I could put the numbers.
Yeah.
And they were on top of each other, and you started shooting with a much faster succession. I knew exactly you started seeing it.
I was very confident with the precision. You know, I just knew that the wind call and then that correction and wind consistency was going to be the issue, but then spotting misses was the additional factor.
That's it.
But I figured it out. I got to see it, and as soon as I thought just everything clicked, I was really happy.
And just real quickly, again, a lot of the reason we do this and the post-interview part, whether they hit or not, is a learning experience. Even though you hit it and did really, really well, the learning experience from this, if I'm not mistaken, was you did really well in that you didn't overanalyze and didn't overcorrect. You didn't see it and you didn't freak out either. You thought, well, I may have just missed that one, and you kept your point of aim until you saw it because you weren't that far off.
Yeah, again, I was confident in my dope. I know the cartridge, I know the ballistics, so I knew that my miss wasn't going to be significant, so I just stayed consistent, and that was going to give me that proper point of reference.
Because I recently posted a video out there about the basics of long-range shooting, and at the end of that, I kind of posted why some people may not perform as well as they like, and you were a prime example of doing the right thing. Some people would freak out by not seeing their shot, and they go, oh man, and instantly just heart starts racing. Let me go to a different zero, to this.
I was actually surprised that my heart didn't start racing because it has in the past when I've been in situations like that. So
that's awesome, and so it was a good call because sure enough, you did see it. The grouping showed it to be true, and you could have easily hit before you did. I mean, it was dancing around it, so we knew we were going to, so it was fine shooting. So really appreciate you coming out and doing it.
Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right, and once again, Daniel, fantastic shooting. You hit it, what was it again, on the 6th round?
On the 6th round.
Which is good for that bronze coin.
Hey, man, thank you.
And then additional points, 4 more on that last one. You wanted to wait for that suspense, and you got that little one flipped up, and that was a lot of fun to see. So how did it go from your perspective?
Really well. I probably figured with this gun I wouldn't get the cold bore shot, so I wanted to see what it was. It came up 8 MOA.
Okay.
I adjusted for it, and I was still a little high.
Okay.
And so when I made my hit, I was at 8 MOA for windage, and then I pointed at the bottom of the target.
Gotcha.
And got the hit. I noticed it hit at the very top.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. And, so it made note of that, not just a hit, but just where you hit, started correcting for that, and didn't take too long and got figured out.
The wind must be different on the 5-inch because I held the same thing and I went over on the 5-inch. So
we got big fans blowing different directions just to keep people guessing all the time. I'm handing out coins too quick. You know? That's awesome. So
I'm very pleased.
And then once again, that's just a great example. That's what I love about this challenge. And on this very day, we've got custom 375 Shy-Tex, and we also have out-of-box RPRs with white and red box quantity ammo, and it's all performing very, very nice, especially with capable shooters. So fun to see. So thanks so much for making it out. I really appreciate it.
I'm coming back with the 300
Let's
PRC.
do it. Let's do it. All righty, sir. And once again, it's going to be a case of once you see the shot placement markers on there, it was clear that you knew what you were doing, especially when you started getting the corrections there. Some of them were just annoyingly close. But
annoyingly close.
Absolutely. So how do you go from your perspective, though, as far as spotting them and everything?
You know, my perspective is the platform can do it. I developed a good round.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
shooter needs some practice.
Well,
I had some nerves out there,
oh,
so I
that
was
happens.
a little shaky, and I was like, "Well, where'd that come from?"
It happens.
But I tried to adjust for it and do the best I could. So I'm not upset with my performance. This is my first competition. So,
oh, well, right on. And it's a recreational one. It's one that's not taken too seriously. It's just a place to have fun and definitely have some learning experiences from as well. But again, you're shooting a 20-inch 308 with some pretty decent winds as well, out of a, you know, fairly budget but highly capable optic and rifle setup here, but equipped it with good stuff. And it was very obvious that it was a really good performing rifle, and you knew what you were doing. You definitely got on the berm, and
I'm close.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's fun to see, and nonetheless, I really do appreciate you coming on out here. So
that's so
great.
much fun.
Great, thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Alrighty, Rick, and well done there, because that was a hit on the second round.
Thank you, sir.
And obviously, first rounds are great as well, but I think equally as impressive per se is the second, because it's a small target, and well, I won't have you waiting too long. There's that silver coin.
All right.
But that just proves that you saw the first impact and then immediately dialed and just got it done. So impact on second is pretty impressive. And then the grouping on the 5-inch wasn't so bad too, as you'll see when we put the markers there. But how'd it go from your perspective?
Yeah, I was a little surprised at how far right it missed on the first shot. I thought I dialed extra, because it seems like everybody always misses right. So I dialed in some extra left and thought I was probably going to still miss right a little. I wasn't expecting like a 40-inch miss to the right. So,
well, 300 PRC could be a little bit of a wind delete sometimes.
Right. Well, and I thought, you know, being that I could spot the shot, you know, fairly accurately, I could make a dial. I thought, well, I'll get close on the second shot and then have to dial for the third. Somehow I guessed perfectly right.
Yeah.
And it hit pretty much dead center, a little high, but
Sure.
I'm pretty happy with that overall.
That's helpful walking through the thought process behind that too. So good guess, and then right on second.
Yeah,
and then as far as the half MOA, again, they're being placed all over it.
Yeah, the ninth shot, I think it was just low. If it had been an inch or two, you know, higher, it would have caught the edge.
Very well might have hit it authoritative with some dirt splashed up on there, but it was all over. It would have been certainly some more 10-inch hits within that group.
Overall, I'm pretty pleased with it,
awesome.
Especially that second round hit. That was,
yeah, for sure. It has a really cool report as well. That suppressed 300 PRC is fun to watch and hear.
That recoil reduction, it kind of gives it a unique sound, but it's definitely quieter.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I really appreciate you coming out here and doing some fine shooting. So thanks again.
All right. Thank you, Brandon.
All right, Ryan, some fantastic shooting there.
Thanks,
What was that impact on the third? Third, and the first two scared the heck out of it. So there's that silver coin for you.
I thought it was going to be close.
For sure.
Yeah,
and then I knew right when you started getting to that half MOA, I'm like, if he hits it, this is going to be the biggest thing to hit the half MOA. So I was so curious to see how it would act.
Oh man, it was so close, and at first I decided just to hold, and then I just dialed that little tiny bit, because ELR, we dial everything, you know. And then finally on that last shot where it hit, I can't believe just watched the whole thing lift off the ground. That was awesome.
I don't know what the biggest thing to hit that before is. We've had 50 MGs attempt at it. I don't know if we've had a CT or ShyTech round do it, but now we have. And so we know it does little backflips. So that's pretty cool. So overall, how'd it go from your take?
Pretty good. You know, everything was a little bit faster than home. Had to come down. I'm actually right back to zero. So
yeah, zero to hit out of 1,000.
Zero
that's
to hit.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's right on the money at 1,000 for this environment.
Wow.
And the wind was about where I expected.
Yeah, where was the wind?
I ended up at 1 mil.
Wow. Okay, so even with that big round, we got just enough gusting to get that whole mil.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, there's still a little wind. It's about 11 mile an hour.
Yeah.
Pretty much full value. So.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it worked out pretty nicely.
It worked out. Yeah.
So that being said, closing out with this video, teasing into 1 week from now, you're going to have an attempt at the 10-shot 10-inch, and we're going to try to help you get the tightest group there, give you the drone and all that stuff, the screen. So try to help you out there. So that's coming in a week from now. But as of this video, again, some fine shooting. I really appreciate you making it out.
Brandon.
So thank you, Ryan.
Thanks for having me, man.
Perfect. Absolutely. Cool. That does it for this episode. See you guys next time. Take care.